that category. Which brings me to what I wanted to kind of touch on with this whole thing, right? There was a petition in the UK not long ago to codify the laws of free speech, much like your First Amendment, out here in the UK. Like they wanted to pass a law in writing that, look, this is protected speech. Now, again, showing how the UK politicians don't have any clue as to what they're actually doing, the proposition achieved the number of signatures that were required to present a debate within Parliament on the issue. Like you need at least 100,000 or maybe 10,000 or whatever it is, and they have to debate the topic.
Kind of like what we have here.
Right, yeah, you have like referendums and stuff like that you could actually, get campaigns that will take, into debates and committees and stuff like that. But this was shot down, right? The response from the parliamentary office was basically, well, the UK already has a free speech provision in the European Convention on Human Rights. Now, let me just kind of highlight the European Convention on Human Rights a little bit, right?
Ooh.
So this is a fundamental right. Freedom of expression, extremely important. In Britain, you have the right to express yourself without persecution from others. This is not the case in all countries, etc., right? But here's where it gets interesting. They add in this clause about the responsibility of free speech. And they point out that there are exceptions to free speech. And these are, there are other exceptions to the right of free speech, which are restricted on the grounds of, one, national security. So we cannot have a WikiLeaks, so somebody cannot inform on the government. The other exception includes restrictions on the grounds of public safety, the protection of health, morals, and the restriction to prevent crime and disorder, right? Morals are completely subjective, right? You're basically saying that you can curtail my free speech on the sake of morals. It doesn't end there. Another restriction is the disclosure of information that has been received in confidence in another person's expectation. So if somebody tells you a secret in confidence and you share it, that's a violation of free speech laws. And lastly, the main exception to the right of free speech and expressions are that expressions do not engage in harm or endanger other people. Those are the restrictions on free speech in the UK. Basically, you cannot insult anyone, you cannot criticize anyone, you cannot harm them emotionally, you cannot offend their moral sensibilities, you cannot share or leak upon the government that might be doing something heinous behind your back. And if you share somebody's secret, you could be fucking arrested. And they call that free speech in the UK.